Let's deep dive into a mind-blowing YouTube podcast created by artificial intelligence, where you will hear conversations by two AI agents in a way you've never imagined before. This isn't just a podcast, it's a journey into the future, crafted by AI, designed for you. Ready to have your mind blown? Let's begin.
All right, get ready, because today we're going deep on Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0.
Oh yeah, by Jim Collins.
And Bill Lazier.
That's right.
Now, you might know Collins from that other book of his, Good to Great.
Of course.
But this book takes things a step further.
It does. It really does.
It's not just about having your business have a big growth spurt.
Right.
It's about how to make a company that's truly enduring,
Right.
one that's still around and thriving decades later.
Yeah, I mean, think about companies like Disney
Yeah.
or Amazon, giants, really,
Total giant.
that have weathered the storms and come out stronger
You can come out on top. Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
How do they do it? Well, this book says it has the roadmap.
Oh, interesting.
So we're going to unpack those secrets, the fundamental building blocks
Yeah.
of a company that is built to last. Everything from their vision, leadership style, to the culture and strategy that they cultivate. You ready to see how a simple vision like making people happy fueled an empire like Disney's?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
So one of the most interesting things here is that this book really throws it back to the basics, you know?
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that no matter how groundbreaking your product or service is,
All right.
it all rests on having a really solid foundation.
Okay.
And that starts with being crystal clear about your vision, mission, and set of values.
I can already hear some people listening being like, okay, sure, vision, mission, values, important, but really, why should I care?
Yeah.
It feels like corporate jargon sometimes.
Right. It can seem kind of abstract.
Yeah.
But imagine this. Your vision, mission, and values, they act as a compass.
Yeah.
Every decision you make as a company should be guided by those principles.
Interesting.
They keep everyone on the same page, everyone rowing in the same direction.
I like that. Yeah.
Think about Walt Disney.
Yeah.
His vision was simple: to make people happy.
That's it.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But that seemingly simple idea was the engine behind some of the most diverse innovations out there. Animated films, theme parks. It gave them a North Star, a filter for deciding what projects to pursue, what to pass up.
So it's not about just putting these statements on a wall somewhere. It's got to be deeper than that.
Exactly. It's about baking those values into the company's DNA, letting them inform every single move you make.
I got it.
And there's data to back this up.
Really?
Research shows that companies with a really well-defined mission are way more resilient when times get tough. Why?
Okay, why?
Because everyone understands the why behind their work. It's not just showing up, clocking in and out.
Yeah.
It's contributing to something bigger than themselves.
It's meaningful.
And then you have your core values, which really shape the company's personality.
Okay, yeah.
Think of them as guardrails. They help everyone, from the CEO to the new hire, make good choices, especially when facing tricky situations.
So they kind of set the boundaries.
Yeah, they're the framework for ethical decision-making that's aligned with long-term goals.
It's like the rules of the road.
That's a good way to put it.
All right, so we've got our foundation.
Okay.
Vision, mission, values. But who's going to steer the ship towards greatness?
Yeah, who's going to be captain?
This is where the book gets really interesting because it has a very specific take on leadership.
Very specific. Remember level 5 leaders from good to great.
Oh, yeah.
This book expands on that idea even more.
Okay.
These leaders, they aren't the ones grabbing the spotlight.
Interesting.
They get that flashy, charismatic stereotype.
Okay.
Level 5 leaders, they're marked by humility.
Huh.
And this kind of quiet determination to see the company succeed.
Oh, wow.
They're not focused on their own ego. They're focused on building something that lasts.
They're the unsung heroes?
Almost.
Yeah.
But how do they actually operate?
I'm ready to find out.
Let's look at an example.
Okay.
Darwin Smith at Kimberly-Clark.
Oh, okay.
He made a bold decision, and at the time, a very unpopular one.
What did he do?
He decided to sell their core business,
Whoa.
the paper mills,
Wow.
to focus on consumer products.
Bold move.
It wasn't about chasing trends or headlines. It was about what he truly believed would set the company up for long-term success. And you know what? Kimberly-Clark became a leader in that new space.
So it was a long-term play.
It really was.
But how do these leaders get everyone on board with these huge changes?
Well, that's the thing about level 5 leaders. They don't just command, they build systems and empower their teams. And the data is pretty clear on this. Companies led by these quiet heroes are more than twice as likely to make that jump from good to great. They're not about taking all the credit. They're about creating an environment where everyone can thrive.
So if you want to lead a company to enduring greatness, you don't have to be the loudest voice in the room.
You got it.
It's about vision, humility, and that steady determination.
It is. Now, it's a strong foundation and the right people in charge. We need to talk strategy.
Yeah.
Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0 hammers home this idea of focus.
Yeah, focus for sure.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You're bombarded with possibilities, and it's easy to spread yourself too thin.
You can go in too many directions.
You can't, and that's why they introduced this thing called the hedgehog concept.
Okay, the hedgehog concept.
Imagine 3 circles. What you're really passionate about,
So 1,
what you could be the best in the world at,
circle 2.
and what drives your economic engine. Where those 3 circles overlap,
Okay.
that's your hedgehog.
So the sweet spot.
The sweet spot.
But how do you actually find that sweet spot? Seems tough.
It takes real introspection,
Yeah.
and the book has a framework to figure it out.
Okay.
Let's look at Nike as an example.
Yeah, great example.
They're passionate about athletics, empowering athletes.
Yeah.
That's clear. They're the leader in athletic wear,
For sure.
proving they're the best at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And their business model, well, it brings in billions
That's the hedgehog concept.
in action.
I love their slogan, Crush Adidas.
Oh, that's a classic BAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal.
And BHAG, gotta have a BHAG.
It gives everyone something to rally behind.
Totally.
It injects energy and purpose.
Yeah.
It's about setting your sights high
For sure.
and really committing to that long-term vision.
So strategy in this sense, it's about clarity,
Yes.
discipline, and choosing your battles.
Picking your battles, that's a good way to put it.
So is that what the data shows too?
The data backs it up, definitely. Companies with those laser-focused strategies like Nike, they tend to outperform the competition over time.
Makes sense.
It's about aligning your resources
Yeah.
and committing to that one thing you do exceptionally well.
Okay, that's good advice for anyone, really.
It really is.
Whether you run a company or just your own career, it's about focusing your energy where it matters. Now, the business world, it's always changing.
It is.
So how do we stay ahead of the curve and adapt to the ever-changing environment?
Right, well, that's where the book's focus on innovation and adaptability come in.
Oh, okay.
It's about striking that critical balance,
Yeah.
staying true to your core values
Yeah.
while being flexible enough to evolve with the times.
That's a hard balance to strike.
It is. It's like walking a tightrope. And the book's got some great examples.
Okay, lay it on me.
Take IBM. They went from a hardware company
Right.
to this services giant,
Yeah.
but they kept that commitment to innovation
Uh-huh.
and serving their customers.
Yeah.
And then you've got Netflix. They started with DVDs by mail.
I remember those red envelopes.
Yeah, the red envelopes.
Yeah.
But they saw the potential in streaming. They adapted to that new technology,
Totally.
but stayed true to their mission, entertaining people.
I see. So being adaptable doesn't mean losing sight of who you are.
Exactly. It means evolving in a way that's true to your roots.
Okay, but how do you know which direction to go in?
Well, research shows that companies that are innovating within their core mission,
Okay.
that hedgehog we talked about,
Yeah.
they're way more likely to succeed. It's about making those calculated bets that align with your passion and what you're best at.
So we've talked about the vision, leadership, strategy, and this ability to adapt. But I think the secret sauce that really makes a company click,
Yeah, what is it?
it's the culture.
Yes, the culture, absolutely. The beating heart of any organization.
It really is.
For the values come to life, the company's personality.
Yeah, it shines through.
And Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0 really breaks down how to build that winning culture.
Okay, so give me the recipe. What are the ingredients?
Well, it's a balancing act. It's about creating an environment where people are disciplined and accountable. There are clear expectations, a strong framework.
Yeah.
But, and this is crucial,
Yeah.
it's also about empowering your team
Okay.
to thrive and contribute their unique skills and ideas.
So it's not about stifling creativity with a bunch of rules.
Oh, no, no, no.
You have to find the sweet spot, that balance.
Exactly. Between structure and autonomy.
Right. You have to trust your people.
You do. And the book offers some great examples.
Okay.
Think about Southwest Airlines. They empower their employees to handle customer issues creatively,
Right.
but they still operate within a really efficient system.
That makes sense.
And then you have Patagonia, a company known for environmental responsibility.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They give employees a lot of freedom to come up with solutions
Interesting.
that align with their values.
Two totally different companies, but both successful.
Yeah, but both with really strong, distinct cultures.
So you can have structure and still nurture that independent spirit.
And the data backs it up. Companies with strong cultural alignment see huge jumps in engagement and productivity, like a 22% increase.
Whoa, that's huge.
It is.
So it's about those clear expectations, but trusting your team to do amazing things.
Absolutely. Creating an environment where everyone feels empowered to contribute their best work while staying true to the company's values.
It's a potent combination that fuels sustainable success.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. Vision, leadership, strategy, adaptability, and culture.
We have.
But I think the million-dollar question is, how do we actually make that leap from good to great?
That's the big one.
How do you build a company that can go the distance?
That's what we're all trying to figure out. It's about institutionalizing your values.
Institutionalizing values.
Yeah, it's about really embedding those core principles.
Oh,
The vision, processes, leadership development,
right.
so deeply in the company's DNA that they become self-sustaining.
Interesting.
Like you're creating a system that goes beyond individuals.
So it can run on its own, even if the founders move on.
Exactly. It's like a machine that runs even if the original engineer isn't there to keep an eye on things.
I like that. But how do you actually do that?
Well, the book has some really cool examples.
Okay, I like examples.
Take Procter & Gamble.
P&G.
They've been around for over 180 years.
That's incredible, right? That kind of longevity.
Yeah.
It comes from this constant commitment to innovation and this rock-solid leadership pipeline.
They always have someone ready to take over.
Right. They've built a system that keeps the company moving forward
Wow.
while staying true to its core values.
That's impressive.
Doesn't matter who's in charge.
So they've cracked the code.
In a way, yeah.
180 years. It's amazing to think about.
It really shows that building a company that lasts, it is achievable.
It gives me hope.
It should. But it takes that long-term vision
Right.
and real deliberate effort.
Yeah, no shortcuts. But it's not just about the business being successful, right?
Yeah.
It's about creating a legacy.
It is. It's about creating something that has a positive impact on the world, something that continues to matter long after you're gone.
You said earlier that only 18% of Fortune 500 companies from 1955 are still around today.
Right. It's from the book.
Yeah, a pretty stark reminder that long-term success is really hard to achieve.
Yeah, it is a stark reminder.
But it highlights why these principles we've been talking about are so important.
Yeah.
The companies that survived, they were the ones that adapted while holding on to their core values.
Exactly.
They had a strong culture, good leadership, and kept their eyes on the long term.
That's how they made it.
So you're building a company that thrives because of its inherent strength.
Yes.
The culture, the mission,
Right.
not because of any one leader.
It's like building a self-sustaining ecosystem,
Okay.
a company that can handle any storm because it's built on a solid foundation.
It's like navigating a ship across a vast ocean.
Oh, I like that.
You have to be ready for anything, right?
You do.
Your vision is like your compass.
Okay.
Your leadership is your captain.
I like that.
The culture is the wind in your sails.
Yeah.
But you got to be ready for those storms.
Oh, for sure.
And that's where the book's concept of productive paranoia comes in, right?
Exactly.
Always be prepared.
Collins and Lazier argue that the companies that last, they're not just lucky, they're incredibly vigilant.
Interesting.
They're always looking out for potential threats
Okay.
and opportunities.
Got it.
They're getting ready for them before they even show up.
So they're proactive,
Yeah, it's not about being scared.
right?
It's about taking action.
So instead of being caught off guard by something,
Right.
they're looking for what might be coming.
Always thinking ahead.
How do they actually use this productive paranoia? They can't just worry all the time.
It's about having some skepticism about the current state of affairs.
Okay.
Always questioning assumptions, challenging the status quo, being ready to adapt before it's too late.
So always have a backup plan.
It's like they say, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Yeah, they're not assuming it's always going to be smooth sailing.
Right, they know there will be rough waters.
What are there examples of companies that have embraced this productive paranoia?
Oh, there's some great examples.
Okay, let's hear it.
One that comes to mind is Intel.
Okay, Intel. Yeah.
Back in the 80s, they were on top of the world.
Right.
They were dominating the memory chip market.
They were huge.
Huge, but they saw things were changing.
What did they see?
Japanese competition was getting stronger,
Okay.
and they saw the potential of microprocessors.
Mm.
So instead of just clinging to their past success,
Yeah.
they made the really tough decision to shift their whole focus to microprocessors.
That was a big risk, right?
It was.
But it basically saved them.
Yeah, it was painful at first, but it was the right move.
They adapted.
They did. They anticipated the change in the market, and they pivoted before it was too late.
So productive paranoia isn't just about avoiding disaster.
No, not just about that.
It's about finding opportunities
That's right.
and having the courage to make big changes.
And being agile, responsive to the market.
That's fascinating. Now, the book also talks about this idea of first who, then what.
Yeah, a really interesting concept.
Okay, first who, then what. Break that down for me. Do you hire your team before you even know what you're going to do?
It's not quite that extreme,
Okay.
but it really emphasizes the importance of the right team,
Mm-hmm.
even before you figured out all the details of your plan.
Mm-hmm.
Collins and Lazier, they argue that having the right team,
Yeah.
it's crucial for dealing with challenges
Right.
and seizing opportunities that come your way.
That makes sense.
And it's about more than just skills. They have to share the company's core values.
So it's not just about checking off boxes on a resume.
No, it's about finding people who are a good cultural fit.
People who believe in what you believe in.
Exactly. They go so far as to say that if you've got the right people,
Mm-hmm.
the what?
Like the strategy or the product.
Yeah, that'll often figure itself out. A good team,
Yeah.
they'll find a way to succeed even if the path isn't clear at the beginning.
It's a big leap of faith.
It is.
Trusting your team like that.
But it's empowering too, right?
It is. You're giving them autonomy, ownership.
You're saying, I trust you to figure this out.
I like that. The book has an example of this, right?
It does. Wells Fargo, they built a team of really driven, disciplined people before they had a fully formed growth strategy.
Interesting.
And that strong team culture,
Yeah.
it allowed them to adapt and thrive,
I see.
even when the banking industry was going through major changes.
It's like if you get the right people on the bus,
Mm-hmm.
you can handle any road.
You can handle any terrain.
So let's shift gears a bit and talk about innovation.
Okay.
It's a hot topic. Everyone wants to be innovative.
For sure. Everyone wants to be the next big thing.
Right. But what's the book's take on fostering real innovation?
Well, Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0 makes it clear it's not just about brainstorming those eureka moments.
Yeah, it's more than that.
It's about having a system for continuous improvement and experimentation.
Okay.
It's about making innovation part of the company's DNA.
So it's an ongoing process.
It is always questioning your current practices.
Right. Looking for ways to do things better.
Yeah.
Testing new ideas.
Got it.
It's about being okay with always evolving and improving.
It kind of reminds me of the lean startup idea.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Test your assumptions, move quickly,
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
fail fast, learn from your mistakes.
Absolutely. It's about embracing that iterative process.
Mhm.
You experiment and adjust as you go.
But how do you actually create that culture of experimentation?
Mhm.
It's one thing to talk about it, but how do you make it happen?
It starts with giving your employees the power to come up with new ideas
Yeah.
and then giving them the space and the resources
The tools they need.
to test those ideas out.
You have to make it safe to fail.
You do. If people are afraid to make mistakes,
Yeah.
they won't take the risks that lead to big breakthroughs.
Makes sense.
You have to foster an environment where they feel safe sharing their ideas,
Okay.
even if they're not fully formed or might not even work out.
Right.
Even then, the learning from those experiments
Yeah.
is really valuable.
Failure as a stepping stone.
That's it. You're shifting the mindset from being afraid of failure
Yeah.
to embracing it as part of the process.
I like that. Now, another big piece of building an enduring company.
Yeah.
Customer focus.
It seems obvious,
Right.
but it's surprising how many companies lose sight of that.
They do.
You can get caught up in your internal stuff
For sure.
and forget who you're serving.
It's easy to do.
Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0, it really stresses that customer-centric approach.
Okay, but how do you actually achieve that? How do you make it more than just words?
The book talks about a few key strategies.
Okay, baby.
One is you have to be obsessed with gathering customer feedback.
Oh, yeah. Feedback is so important.
It is, and I'm not talking about a quick survey.
Right.
You really have to dig deep.
Get into the details.
Use that feedback to inform your product development,
Okay.
your marketing, even your company culture.
It's got to be part of everything you do. Right. Customer feedback should be driving your decisions.
I see. It's not just about collecting the data. Yeah. It's about actually using it.
Exactly. Another important strategy.
Yeah.
You have to build real relationships with your customers.
Right.
It's more than just good customer service.
It's about that connection.
It is. You want your customers to feel like they're part of something.
Yeah.
Bigger than just a transaction.
They're part of the family.
That's it. You're building loyalty, turning customers into advocates.
So they recommend you to their friends.
Right. And the book points out some companies that have nailed this.
Okay, give me those examples.
Zappos, the online shoe retailer.
Zappos, yeah.
They're legendary for their customer service.
I've heard stories.
They go above and beyond to create a positive experience.
Wow.
They'll spend hours on the phone with a customer, helping them find the perfect shoes.
That's dedication.
It's about building that personal connection.
Yeah, it's about the human touch.
Even if it takes a little extra time.
Yeah.
And it's paid off big time for them.
It has.
They have super loyal customers.
I bet.
And they're a model for other companies who want to be customer-centric.
So it's about creating a community, a tribe of people who love your brand.
Exactly.
We've talked about productive paranoia, first who, then what, innovation, customer focus.
Yeah, we've covered a lot.
But there's one more piece we can't ignore.
What's that?
Financial discipline.
Ah, yes. You're right. Maybe not the most exciting topic.
Right?
But you can have the best vision, the best team, the most innovative product. And if you're not managing your finances well,
it can all fall apart.
You can all come crashing down.
So let's talk about the nuts and bolts. What does financial discipline actually look like?
It starts with really understanding your financials. You got to know where your money's coming from, where it's going, what your key numbers are.
Financial awareness.
Exactly. You have to understand how the numbers work.
It's more than just tracking your income and expenses, though, right?
It is.
You have to make smart decisions, ones that are in line with your long-term goals.
That's what Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0 stresses.
Okay.
It's about value creation, not just cost cutting.
Right.
It's not about being cheap.
It's about investing your money strategically.
That's it. Invest in areas that will fuel growth.
Yeah, that'll build a sustainable business.
Every dollar has to work towards your goal. The book talks about return on invested capital.
Oh, ROIC, yeah.
It's about making sure you're getting the most out of every dollar you invest.
So your investments are paying off?
They have to. They need to be contributing to your success.
What about debt?
Oh, that's a good one. The book warns about the dangers of too much debt.
Makes sense.
It can slow you down.
Yeah.
Make you vulnerable if the economy takes a hit.
So be careful with debt.
Be very careful. Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0, it argues for a healthy balance sheet.
Okay.
Be smart about how you use debt. Especially now, things change quickly.
Yeah. The world is unpredictable.
It is. Financial discipline. It's not just about survival.
It's about thriving.
That's it. It's about having the resources to invest in your growth.
Right.
Weather those storms, build company that lasts.
Okay, we've covered a lot today.
We have, from productive paranoia to first who, then what.
Innovation, customer focus, financial discipline.
It's a lot to take in.
It's all important for building a company that lasts, but
What?
I feel like there's one more thing we should talk about.
Oh, okay, what is it?
The human element.
Ah, yes, of course.
We talked about teams, culture, empowering employees, but we should talk about passion, purpose, values.
Okay.
Those are all important too, right?
They are. At the end of the day, businesses are made up of people.
Right. They're not just machines.
People are driven by more than just money.
Exactly.
They want to feel like they're part of something bigger.
They want to make a difference.
They want to work for a company that shares their values.
Yeah, absolutely. And Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0 talks about this a lot.
It does.
It emphasizes building a company that's aligned with your values. A company where your employees can be themselves.
It's about that shared purpose.
Yeah.
Everyone working towards something meaningful.
Something they believe in.
And that translates into results.
Oh, interesting. How so?
When people are passionate about their work
Yeah.
and they're connected to something bigger, they're more engaged,
Okay.
more productive,
Yeah.
and more likely to stay with the company.
They're invested in the company's success.
Exactly. They become advocates for your company.
It's a win-win.
It really is.
Yeah.
And a strong sense of purpose, it can help you get through tough times.
Oh, how so?
When you face challenges or ethical dilemmas,
Right.
your values can help you make the right choice.
Even when it's hard.
Even when it's really difficult. It makes me think of companies like Patagonia.
Patagonia, yeah.
They're known for their commitment to the environment.
They are, yeah.
Those values are a core part of their culture,
I see.
and they shape every decision they make.
So it's not just about the profit.
No, it's
It's
not.
about building something good.
It's about leaving a positive mark on the world.
A legacy to be proud of.
Yeah, a company that stands for something. I think that's a good point to pause.
Okay.
In the last part of our deep dive, we'll tie everything together
Sounds good.
and leave you with some actionable takeaways.
I can't wait. All right, welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0.
We've been through a lot.
We have from vision and leadership to strategy,
Culture, innovation,
financial discipline.
you name it.
It's like we've been charting this course
Yeah.
for building a company that can really go the distance.
It really has been a journey.
It has. So as we wrap things up,
Yeah.
let's bring it all together.
Okay.
How do all these ideas connect to create that long-lasting success?
All right, let's circle back to the start, the foundation.
Okay.
The vision, mission, and values.
Yeah.
These are your guiding principles, the North Star
Right.
for your company.
Okay.
They give you clarity, purpose, and should be
Yeah.
behind every single decision you make.
So they're like the compass
They are.
and the map for your journey. They
Yeah.
tell you where you're going and how to get there.
Exactly. And once you have that direction,
Yeah.
you need the right leadership to take the wheel. Remember those level 5 leaders?
Oh, yeah.
Blending humility with commitment to the company's success?
The quiet heroes.
That's right.
They're not after the spotlight. They want to build something that lasts.
That's what it's all about. And those leaders, they create that culture of empowerment
Right. Yeah.
where everyone feels valued and
Yeah.
inspired to do their best.
That makes a difference.
It does. And a strong culture like that,
Yeah.
it's a breeding ground for innovation, for adaptability, for customer focus.
So if you have a talented team, passionate people who believe in your mission, they'll embrace change, take risks, go the extra mile for customers.
Exactly. And that customer focus is
Yeah.
key.
It is, yeah.
It's about building relationships,
Mhm.
loyalty, a community around your brand.
But all of that is impossible
And
without
yeah.
financial discipline.
You got it. You need to be smart with your money.
Right.
Invest strategically.
Uh-huh.
Make sure you have a business model that can go the distance.
So make smart choices with your money.
Yes.
Every dollar needs to be working towards your long-term vision.
Right. And then there's that human element,
The people.
the people, creating a workplace where they feel valued,
Yeah.
inspired, connected to something bigger than themselves.
Where they can be themselves, contribute to something meaningful.
That's it. When you have all those elements working together,
The vision,
the
the
leadership,
customer focus,
financial discipline,
and that human element.
you've got something powerful.
It's like that flywheel we talked about.
Yeah. It starts slow, but gains momentum over time.
Until it's unstoppable.
Unstoppable. That's what it's all about.
It's not about quick wins.
Yeah.
Overnight success.
It's the long game.
It is.
It's a consistent effort, thinking long-term,
Yeah.
deep commitment to your mission.
Building something that lasts.
That's it. As we wrap up our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave you with this.
Go ahead.
The book talks about productive paranoia.
Right. Always be prepared.
Yes, but there's another side to that coin.
Okay, what is it?
Faith.
Faith.
Faith in your vision.
Right.
Faith in your team.
Yeah.
Faith in your ability to overcome challenges.
Belief in yourself, basically.
That's it. Belief in the power of your mission to make a positive impact.
So it's about balance.
It is.
A bit of paranoia,
Uh-huh.
but also belief in yourself, in your company.
Building a company that lasts.
Yeah.
It's not just about surviving.
Right.
It's about thriving.
And making a difference.
Yes. Creating a legacy you're proud of.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for our journey.
I think so too.
It's been great exploring these ideas with you.
It has.
I hope everyone listening found our deep dive into Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0 insightful and inspiring.
We hope it gave you some ideas to think about.
Yeah, some tools you can use as you build your own company
Keep learning, keep growing.
and keep building.
That's what it's all about.